Good morning. Welcome in, everyone. Good morning, Tamara. Good morning, Rebecca. And just good to you, apparently, Joy. I didn't put that out right. Good morning, Joy. I put good, Joy, and then just moved on. Posted it. I meant good morning. So today is the 27th of October, 2024. And we are going to be in Proverbs 27. That syncs up with the day of the month, 27th. So let's get started here. Got everything laid out. Kind of a short chapter. Proverbs 27, verse 1. Do not boast about tomorrow, for you do not know what a day may bring forth. And there's a note on that. It says, what separates the fools from the wise is that the wise know not to boast about tomorrow, since only the Lord knows what a day may bring. That's good advice. Verse 2. Let another man praise you, and not your own mouth, a stranger, and not your own lips. A stone is heavy, and sand is weighty, but a fool's wrath is heavier than both of them. Wrath is cruel, and anger is torrent, but wrath is cruel and anger a torrent, but who is able to stand before jealousy? Open rebuke is better than love carefully concealed. Don't conceal your love. Verse 6. Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. The note on verse 6 says, trust in the foundation of all successful relationships. At times, a friend may wound with constructive criticism. The short-term pain is for long-term good. Flattery from an enemy, however, may feel good, but will end badly. Back up in verse 7. A satisfied soul loathes the honeycomb, but to a hungry soul, every bitter thing is sweet. Like a bird that wanders from its nest is a man who wanders from his place. Ointment and perfume delight the heart, and the sweetness of a man's friend gives delight by hearty counsel. Verse 10. Do not forsake your own friend or your friend's friend, nor go to your brother's house in the day of your calamity. Better is a neighbor nearby than a brother far away. And verse 10 says, this proverb is not meant to criticize family ties. Normally, a brother or relative would be helpful in a time of adversity. But if that relative lives a great distance away, a neighbor can stand in for family members' stead. Verse 11. My son, be wise and make my heart glad, that I may answer him who reproaches me. A note on verse 11 says, the son is urged to seek wisdom because of the benefit that will accrue to his parents. Having a child who is wise is evident of good child rearing and means that a father can answer his critics. And then verse 12 also has a note. A prudent man foresees evil a prudent man foresees evil and hides himself. The simple pass on and are punished. And then the note on verse 12 says the proverb is almost identical to 22:3. The wise see trouble coming and do everything possible to avoid it, while the foolish proceed headlong into danger. And we're on verse 13. Get a little sip of coffee here. Take the garment of him who is surety for a stranger, and hold it in pledge when he is surety for a seductress. He who blesses his friend with a loud voice raises early in the morning, it will be counted a curse to him. Verse 15 and 16 have a note. Verse 15, a continual dripping on a very rainy day and a contentious woman are alike. Whoever restrains her restrains the wind and grasps oil with his right hand. And the note says, this word picture illustrates a trait that can erode a marriage and is almost impossible to stop. Contentiousness in a woman is particularly dangerous because it undermines both her and her husband. Verse 17, as iron sharpens iron, so a man sharpens the countenance of his friend. Note on verse 17 says, as iron sharpens iron is one of the best known similes in Proverbs. The proverb addresses the mutual benefit that comes to the individual who receives and gives correction in community. Iron against iron improves the quality of both. Wisdom is neither acquired nor maintained in isolation. Interesting. Verse 18. Whoever keeps the fig tree will eat its fruit, so he who waits on his master will be honored. Verse 19. As in water, face reflects face, so a man's heart reveals the man. And then note on verse 19, the face that is reflected in a placid pool of water says very little about a person. A glimpse into the heart, discerning what a person loves and values, reveals his or her true character. And back up to verse 20. Hey, our treasured home, welcome in. Glad you're in here. Verse 20. Hell and destruction are neither full, so the eyes of man are neither satisfied. The refining pot is for silver and the furnace for gold, and a man is valued by what others say of him. Though you grind a fool in a mortar with a pestle along with the crushed grain, yet his foolishness will not depart from him. Be diligent to know the state of your flocks and attend to your herds. For riches are not forever, nor does a crown endure to all generations. When the hay is removed and the tender grass shows itself, and the herbs of the mountains are gathered in, the lambs will provide your clothing, and the goats the price of the field. You shall have enough goat's milk for your food, for the food of your household, and for the nourishment of your maidservants. And that is chapter 27. Let's jump over to Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10 through 20, and let's put on our armor, y'all. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this age, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in heavenly places. Therefore, take up the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. Stand therefore, having girded your waist with truth, having put on the breastplate of righteousness, and having shod your feet with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, with which you will be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked one, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, being watchful to this end with all perseverance and supplication for all the saints, and for me, that utterance may be given to me, that I may open my mouth boldly to make known the mystery of the gospel, for which I am an ambassador in chains, that in it I may speak boldly as I ought to speak. And now, y'all, we are ready to go. Don't hold back. When God gives you an opportunity, we have our armor on, and we are set up to speak boldly when it comes to God. So don't hold back. Don't hold your tongue. I challenge you guys to go be a blessing for someone else today. Hey, it's Sunday morning. Let's all meet in church. God bless y'all, and we will see you again tomorrow morning, y'all. I love this. Every morning we get to